viewers. My name is FC Mbabie, your favorite friend on Crucial Television this evening. In this program, we'll be talking about family and friends and how it relates to marriages. In this segment, we'll be talking about reasons why marriages fail. Here with me is my guest, Margaret David. Margaret, how are you today?
I'm fine, sir.
You are welcome to the program.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, Margaret, this afternoon we'll be talking about the reasons why marriages crumble. I know you are not married. Are you married?
No, sir.
You are not.
Yes.
Good. I want to ask, what are your expectations? The kind of man you would want to become your husband. What are you really expecting from a man that you wish to marry someday?
First of all, I want my man one should be God-fearing,
Okay?
should have an understanding spirit,
Okay?
and he should be sociable.
Okay. That is a very good one. Many a times as a young person, sometimes we tend to have some expectation from our man. For instance, many young girls will tell you, I'm hoping to marry a man that is very wealthy, a man that is handsome, a man that is tall, a man that is God-fearing, and all that. But the question is this, many a times those expectations are not even realistic. For instance, I love tall women, very fair and all that, but I'm married. My wife is tall, but she's not fair. You see, that is my expectation. And there's so many others, but I believe that there are some important internal expectations that we'll be expecting. For instance, we have in this segment that there is always an unrealistic over expectation from our partners. You see a young man, he wants to marry a girl. He sees that the girl, she's hardworking. She has some money, probably a car and well-furnished house. And this guy believes that this woman has money. And based on that expectation, you see the man rushes into the woman's life. And when she gets into that marriage, it's discovered that the money this lady has is very thin or very lean to accommodate both of them. So because of this unrealistic expectation, the man gets very, very much frustrated. So also many young ladies believe that when I marry a guy from a very rich home, that this guy's family is going to share their wealth into two to help my family. You have this mindset that when I get married to this rich guy, he should be able to pay my bills, take care of my sick parents, take care of my siblings and all that. But when the girl goes into that marriage with such expectation, you discover that it's not the reality on ground. So many a times, unrealistic over expectation. People go into marriages with the wrong concepts, actually affect them and makes marriage to crumble. What do you have to say about this?
Well, so from your question, I think people are not what they seem to be. So me, I just feel before you said this person you want to settle down with the person. I still believe that you guys should still have a time to talk, like get to know the character of the person, a lot of things than the money, than you looking at the money, that the things you will get and all that. So first of all, you have to look at the character. Are you happy with this person? So it's not about you getting the cars, the money, how you want to spend it. And I believe it should be from the both sides, not just the man alone. It should be from the lady too. Like I believe helping each other, like helping ourselves. So it should not just be for the man alone.
Okay, my viewers, Margaret says something that character should be an important ingredient in choosing a wife, in making a choice on whom to marry. Don't just look at the figures, but look at the substance. Because when you marry a woman because of what she has, or you marry a man because of what he has, or because of his physical looks, he's handsome, he's beautiful, a time will come, those things will fade. But character is inbuilt. So Margaret says that we should look at character, which I also support and concur. Another point we want to look at is trying to change your spouse. You know, a lot of people, they want to change the character of the person they married instead of trying to understand. You have to understand whom you marry, not trying to change the person. Margaret, you know that many a times, as a young man, you want to marry a woman. This woman She has lived an independent life, for crying out loud. She was in school as as a student. She lived independently. Probably she likes taking tea at night. She loves maybe not cooking and so on and so forth. You understand? Then at the end of the day, you now batch into this person's life. You just want to change the person. To me, I feel that as an adult, what you can do is to study whom you married, study your spouse, know what he or she doesn't like. I love giving an example, practical example. For instance, I love my wife, and I believe my wife loves me so much. But my wife is not a good caller. You can just go and she won't even call you. So if you are the kind of man who wants people to pet you, you want your wife to pet you. Yeah, I see a lot of wives call their husband, where are you now? My wife is not that kind of person. So if my wife doesn't call me, I am not surprised. I will not be surprised that she doesn't call me. I do the calling. So you don't try to change your spouse. You try to understand your spouse. Know who he is. Know who she is. In doing that, it makes life to be very comfortable, very easy. I used to tell a friend that, look, I don't see any problem in your wife. You only want to control your wife. You want your wife, you are the man. No. Try to understand your spouse. Margaret, I know you are not married, but I know, believe that someday you're going to get married, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So, what do you think in this aspect of trying to understand your spouse instead of trying to change your spouse with the power? You see the man, you must not do. No, you should be able to know what your spouse will not take. I know what my wife cannot take. I know her. You understand? We've married for 10 years. I know her. So trying to change your spouse will lead to frustration. What do you have to say about this?
So I think I will agree with you of what you said, the understanding part.
Okay.
So I believe before you marry somebody, there are some things that you should have seen that made you to say yes to the person first
Yeah.
of all. And if the person said, if the person is actually doing a thing and like just like what you said about the tea stuff or trying to snore and all that, the question is you don't need to get angry with the person. That is his lifestyle, that is his habit. So you just need to understand the person whom you marry. Just need to understand and just flow with him, and so that you can live happily with him and with your children around.
Okay, viewers. Margaret David said you have to understand who you marry, meaning that you have to shift ground. You accommodate your spouse. You accommodate your spouse. You have to shift ground. You just don't want to be just straightforward. You can't just shake. You can't just shift. You don't want to give any allowances. You just want to be you, very stiff. That will cause a problem in your marriage. Give allowances. Make room for allowances for forgiveness. The third point I want to also to look at is praying for your spouse. You know, I'm a Christian, and I believe that marriage is an institution created by God. God is the initiator of marriage. In his wisdom, he made marriage to be possible. A lot of people will always tell you, we know that there's no amount of prayers that can change your family if you don't actually sit down to love one another in submission. Meaning that it is necessary for spouses to pray for their partners. For instance, I pray for my wife. I pray for her businesses. I always bless her to succeed in everything she does. So I don't think that the person I pray for, then I want to dehumanize. I want to beat up. I want to stress out her life. No. Because I pray for myself. So I don't like, wouldn't love to pass into through any stress. So it is high time that spouses pray for themselves. You pray for your husband, you pray for your wife, because in doing that, there's no how there will be this kind of love that will come into place. What do you have to say about that, Margaret? About praying for your spouse to do well, even when your spouse is having some behaviors that are not good. You can as well pray that, Father, in the name of Jesus, I want you to help me and put these things to be in order for my wife or for my husband. What do you have to say about that?
Okay, so I think love conquers everything here. So I believe as a wife, as a woman, it's your responsibility to pray for your husband to prosper in all of his doing. So you, even if he's at fault, you're already married to this man, you can't change him.
Yes.
So you have to cultivate that habit to pray for him. And just I don't know how to put it here, but you just have to cultivate that habit to pray for your husband. If you want to live a good life, how you want your family to be, how you want the man to be to you, you have to pray to God towards it.
Hello, viewers. Margaret have said something about you praying for your spouse. You are a Christian, even if you are a Muslim. Bring out time and pray for your spouse to do well. In praying for your spouse, God will hear you, God will change him. God will make the love to multiply because love covers multitude of sins. Pray for your husband. Don't be a lazy man or a lazy woman who don't care. Ask God to bless your husband. Ask God to bless your wife. In praying for that, love multiplies. Hello viewers, I thank you tonight for joining me on this program. Remember, we are on Kurata television. In case you want to make any advertisement, you can always call Mr. Sam, our producer, on 070-677-98470. I come again, 070-677-98470. You can always reach Mr. Sam on Crucial Television. If you want to also be part of this program, you can as well make a comment and also reach us on the same number I provided earlier. Thank you very much. Don't forget, I am FC Mbabie on Crucial Television. Margaret, thank you for coming.
Thank you, sir.